Shreveport Stomp by Jelly Roll Morton. Hey guys. Hey Rebecca. How's it going? Yeah, the throwaway arm. I'm not sure where that came from, but it just appeared one day. Shreveport Stomp, that's a real classic. And very fun. So, I want to play a number of different kinds of Spanish tinge things today because I was thinking about last week Bridget wanted to hear Maori by William H. Tyers, and so I finally got around to learning it in the meantime. So I'm going to play it in a little while. But that got me thinking about a couple of other Spanish tinge type of tunes that I played maybe 2 or 3 months ago when I first started doing these little concerts. And one of them is another old rag, not quite as old as Maori, but it was written by Artie Matthews. I do need to check the year, actually. I don't have it handy. But anyway, it's a pastime rag number 3. He wrote a series of 5 or 6 pastime rags, and this is one of them. And it's got a really cool kind of habanera, Spanish tinge-esque feel to it. And I've updated the feel slightly in a Jelly Roll Morton type of vein, as you would expect, of course. And I learned this piece after I heard a great pianist in Hungary playing it a couple of years ago, Mimi Blaze, a great ragtime pianist from Canada. So look her up. And here's the pastime rag number 3 by Artie Matthews. Pastime Rag, number 3, by Artie Matthews. Cool. And, yeah, that's a nice piece. Pretty unusual. It's got some nice little moments in it. There's a lot of good rags to mine, you know, in the old archives, and always more to discover. So, you know, trying to get through them one at a time. I haven't learned the other pastime rags, but I should get around to that pretty soon, I think. So, what's next? How about Let's continue down the sort of Spanish. Hey, Chris. Yeah, if you swing the arm, the break sounds better, you know. No, not really. Continuing on the Spanish tinge kind of path, you know, Jelly Roll Morton was, of course, very vocal about his belief in the importance of the Spanish tinge in jazz music, which, of course, refers to this kind of habanera rhythm that, you know, came from not only Spain, but also the Caribbean, and was very important in Morton's conception of jazz. And I think, you know, there's a lot of connections of different types of Creole music, not only early jazz, but early Brazilian music. And I recently was getting around to learning some great music by Lionel Belasco from Trinidad, and early tango as well. I mean, there's a lot of musics from this era, the first few decades of the 20th century, really, that incorporate all these different rhythms, because there was so much, you know, movement of people and also movement of culture through recordings all of a sudden. And so I played a few weeks ago a piece by Ernesto Nazareth, but I'm going to play it again because it's very cool, and I might play another one of his later. He was an important early composer of choro music in Brazil, a great pianist who wrote many, many great pieces of music, which he called Brazilian tangos, and this is one called Atlantico. Atlantico by Ernesto Nazareth from, I think, 1912 or so. A great Brazilian composer and pianist, and pioneer of choro music. So, here's something slightly different for you. The real master of that stuff is, of course, Tom McDermott in New Orleans, who's been doing some of these live broadcasts from the Bywater Bakery every so often. So, I encourage you all to go check out Tom McDermott's Facebook page. Excuse me, I'm going to adjust this camera here. For some lots of great Brazilian music. He really knows a lot of that stuff, and it's very cool. Okay. So, as promised, I think it's now time for Maori by William H. Tyers. Copyright 1908. Now, this is very interesting. Thanks, Rico. Yes, likewise. Pleasure to spend mine as well. And it won't be too long, I'm sure. Once this is all over, there will be plenty of time to play together in the future, I hope. Rico Tomaso, everyone. Go and check out his broadcasts every Friday and Saturday night for the pop-up Louis Armstrong over on Rico's page. Very fun stuff every week. Lots of good stuff going on. As I was saying, Maori here, it's a piece which was written by William H. Tyers, who I didn't know anything about, but I did a little research this week and found out that he was quite an interesting guy, actually. Pioneering African-American composer, and he wrote Panama, which of course is a famous jazz standard, and we know it as a kind of a swing tune, but it was originally also a sort of tango, a Latin-esque thing. And this piece, Maori, which, as you now see, was requested by Bridget, was recorded by Duke Ellington on Brunswick in the late 20s, I believe, maybe 1930. And it was also, I first heard it in a video by James DePogny, who was one of the great pianists of this style of the sort of second half of the 20th century, and the guy who transcribed all of Jelly Roll Morton's piano solos in an enormous volume, which I have sitting around here somewhere. So that was how I first discovered this piece. But anyway, it's a beautiful piece called Maori, a Samoan Dance. William H. Tyers, interesting, pioneering African-American composer. He was one of the first, if not the first, African-American to join ASCAP. So he got in the publishing rights, royalties business long before they let other African-Americans in. He had quite a bit of success writing for theater as well, and publishing a lot of music, and working in publishing business as well. So an interesting guy. You can go read more about him online. William H. Tyers, Tyers. And here's Maori, a Samoan Dance, evidently, from 1908. Yes. Oh, it's a great tune, Maori. Samoan Dance by William H. Tyers in 1908. As Bridget's just mentioned there, it's true. Steve Pistorius from New Orleans did a really great band version of that on his new CD, Living Room Sessions. So definitely go check that out. Oh no, my high-tech tape my phone to the back of my computer technique seems to be failing today. Let's have a little fix there. Oh man, what a tune, huh? Very cool. I love that one. Hasn't gotten old yet. I don't know, I just learned it last week. I don't think that one will ever get old. Okay, I think it's time to spice it up with a little more Jelly Roll Morton, and after that, a couple blueses. So let's have now one of my favorite Jelly Roll Morton pieces, and in fact I was reflecting how I loaned out the huge book of Jelly Roll Morton transcriptions to someone, and I went back to get it the other day, and I was thinking about the first time I opened that book. I've packed it away now. You can see all the boxes here. So I can't show it to you. But anyway, it's James Pogney's Morton book, and I was thinking about it when I was about 15, and I opened it up to Grandpa's Spells, which is a great tune, and I thought, how on earth am I ever going to play this? There's just too many notes at once, you know. And I was very intimidated. So all these years later, I think I'm finally ready to play Grandpa's Spells. And people have speculated that maybe this might be about Grandpa's voodoo spells, but the big smashes in the middle make it pretty clear to me, anyway, that it's about Grandpa falling over. So here we go with Grandpa's Spells by Jelly Roll Morton. classic with a little bit of the band arrangement in there for you as well, for all the nerds. Yes, blueses as promised. Okay, I've got, two blueses, which I might space out, but I might play them back to back. Who knows? Let's make a decision after the first one. This is a blues by Jimmy Blythe, who's probably my favorite blues pianist, Chicago 20s blues master, who played a lot of great recordings with Johnny Dodds, with his own bands, with blues singers, all sorts of things. Jimmy Blythe, a real sort of somewhat unheralded figure in blues and jazz piano, and he actually made the first recording with the boogie woogie bass line in 1925, which is pretty early for what we think about as a sort of style from the 1930s. And this is about, anyway, sorry, Jimmy Blythe made, I think, maybe 6 or 8 solo sides and a couple of duets with other pianists. And one of his best and coolest blues solos is this tune, which is called Lovin's Been Here and Gone to the Mecca Flat. The Mecca Flat was an enormous kind of semi-derelict, I think, housing state of some sort in Chicago where lots of musicians lived in the 20s. And there's other songs written about it as well. This one is very interesting because it has a lot of the trademark Jimmy Blythe blues stuff and then also some interesting bits of novelty piano mixed in as well, just for those people who thought he could only do one thing. So I've been meaning to learn this forever. Now, of course, with all this time in the house, I've finally got around to it. Lovin's Been Here and Gone to the Mecca Flat by Jimmy Blythe. Yeah. Lovin's Been Here and Gone to the Mecca Flat by Jimmy Blythe. Yes, Tim, hydrating on water for the moment. I've run out of beer. Oh well. You can bring me some coffee next week, right? Cool. That's a great tune. I'm very excited about having learned that one finally. So these broadcasts have given me some reason to get around to it. Okay. Thanks, Mike. I thought you might like that one. Okay, let's have another blues, as promised. This one by James P. Johnson, and it's in the book of the Dime Notes, and, this is sort of, weirdly, my last London gig, though, I don't know, I could be anywhere, right? I'm just in a room with a piano, but anyway, as I obviously have to, it doesn't necessarily feel like my last London gig, but it is, so I figured maybe I'll play a little bit of music from the Dime Notes book, because we missed out on our last sort of probably 15 gigs that we were supposed to have in May and June. But the new Dime Notes album has been recorded, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, and it will be out relatively soon on the Jazzophile, so stay tuned for that. And this is a great tune by James P. Johnson, recorded as a piano solo in 1922, called Worried and Lonesome Blues. Worried and Lonesome Blues by James P. Johnson. And, yes, a good blues. There's a lot of great early Johnson blueses, kind of neglected in his solo piano oeuvre, but they're very nice. So go have a listen. You can find them anywhere. 1922, 1923. Okay, what's next? A few more tunes for you. I wanted to play the Climax Rag again. I played it a few weeks ago, but I've been working on it a bit more and changed the arrangement somewhat, so you can go back and compare to the previous video. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. Anyway, this is a great tune by James Scott, one of the ragtime pioneers, along with Scott Joplin. And it was recorded by Morton in 1939 on R.C. Victor with one of his later bands, and subsequently kind of became a bit of a Dixieland standard, for better or for worse. But anyway, it's a great tune, the Climax Rag. Climax Rag by James Scott, great ragtime pioneer there. And I guess we got time for 2 or 3 more. Yeah, 2 anyway. I'd like to play again, which I guess there's been a fair bit of old rags and things today, and so I'm going to continue in that vein with something that I played in probably the first one of these broadcasts that I did, and it's an amazing piece written by David Guion in 1915, a man from Texas who went to study composition in Vienna, came back at the beginning of the First World War, and became a cowboy piano a star on the radio. But before that, he wrote the Texas Foxtrot, which is just a glorious piece of music, and it's worth playing again. So I hope you enjoy it. Texas Foxtrot by David Guion from 1915. And There we go. Wow, comments are going well. Thanks, everyone. I think it's sort of one more song time, really. I'll just mention before that the obligatory commercial section. The new solo album that I've made, No Local Stops, is out now on Rivermont Records. It's got a great cover, thanks to Nick Ball, and I'm quite happy with the music. It's my first solo record, and it turns out it's hard to make a solo record, but I'm pretty happy with this one. And there's a wide variety of things on it: Jelly Roll Morton tunes, of course, and some rags, and some blueses, and some previously unrecorded music by Willie the Lion Smith. Lots of great stuff. So have a look, have a purchase, a download, whatever you want. It's in the bio, whatever site it's on. The event description. There's a link to the US and UK shipping versions, and if you buy it in London, you can get it shipped free by bike by Dave Kelby from the Jazz Hall Records through the end of May. So there's a few days left, I think, for free bike shipping in London from the Jazz Hall Records. Not only my new solo album, but all of Dave's great albums that he's released on his label, including the Dime Notes record, the new record by Don Bappy, a lot of great records by Evan Christopher, and the Complete Morton Project album with me and David Horniblow. So all that on the Jazz Hall. The link is also up there, and free shipping in London by bike through the end of the month. Since you're sitting at home with nothing to do, time to buy some records. Housebound Jazz, my series of overdubs with people all over the world, which has been really fun. We're going to wrap that up this week. There's 3 more tracks on the way. Some great stuff coming at you there, including some hilarious surprises. So stay tuned to Housebound Jazz here on my Facebook page. There's a tip jar up there if you wish to donate. Of course, much appreciated, but not obligatory. And what else? Well, if there's popular demand, and once I get a piano and, get over the jet lag, I might be back with some more solo, probably not every week, maybe every other week, I don't know, we'll see. Later in the month in June, back in Portland, so stay tuned for that. It's been really great 7 years here in London, and looking forward to more collaborations with people over the years. Certainly back to visit and play in the future. But anyway, I'm going to finish this one up with Jelly Roll Morton classic tune called Pep, one of his modern tunes from 1929. And guess we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks very much, everyone. We shall see you on the other side. And meantime, enjoy everybody else's live streams. There's lots of good stuff going on. And stay tuned for the Housebound Jazz finale. You won't regret it. Cool. All right. Well, nice to see everybody here. Thanks for all the comments. And we shall see you in a few weeks, hopefully. All right. Bye.